You are exhausted, not had a long day exhausted, not need a coffee exhausted. The kind of exhausted where your eyes ache, your thoughts blur together, and simply existing feels like effort. And so you do the one logical thing. You lie down to rest, and then nothing. Your body won't let you sleep. Your mind kicks into overdrive. You lie there, staring at the ceiling, more frustrated and more awake than when you started. So you give up, drag yourself back up, and spend the rest of the day running on empty, too tired to function and too wired to recover. If that's you, I need you to hear this right now. You are not imagining it. You are not broken. And this is not just stress. There is a precise biological reason your brain is simultaneously screaming for sleep and refusing to take it. And once you understand what's actually happening inside you, the cycle finally becomes something you can break. Stay with me. Everything you've been looking for is in this video. Here's why this feels so maddening. Your body has two systems that are supposed to work together in balance. One builds sleep pressure, the drive to rest. The other controls arousal, your alertness and activation levels. When they're working in sync, you feel tired at night. You sleep. You wake up refreshed. Simple. But for millions of people, these two systems have become completely decoupled. The sleep pressure builds relentlessly, but the arousal system never fully switches off. And you end up stuck in the middle of both, belonging to neither. You can't function properly because you're too depleted. But you can't rest properly because your nervous system is still running at full volume. This is not a character flaw. This is biology that has been pushed out of balance, and it has a name. What you were experiencing is called hyperarousal, and it's one of the most overlooked drivers of chronic fatigue in the modern world. Hyperarousal means your nervous system is locked in a state of low-grade activation. Not full panic, not obvious anxiety, just a constant, quiet hum of alertness that never fully powers down. Not during the day, not at night, not when you lie down to rest. Your brain reads that activation as a signal that it's not safe to sleep. So even when your body is desperately depleted, your brain refuses to surrender to rest. The exhaustion gets worse. The inability to sleep gets worse. And the two feed each other in a loop that can go on for months, sometimes years, without anyone ever identifying what's actually driving it. 1. Your cortisol is firing at the wrong times. Cortisol should peak in the morning and quietly drop through the day. But chronic stress, irregular sleep, and overstimulation scramble this rhythm. For many people, cortisol stays elevated well into the evening, keeping the nervous system activated precisely when it should be winding down. Your body is flooded with a wake-up chemical at the exact moment you need to rest. Tired and wired isn't a mood. It's a hormone misfiring on a broken schedule. 2. Your sleep-wake switch is stuck. Deep inside your brain is a mechanism researchers call the sleep-wake switch, a cluster of neurons that flips you between alert and asleep. In a healthy system, it flips cleanly. But chronic stress, poor sleep habits, and constant stimulation make this switch sticky. It gets stuck halfway. You're not fully awake. You're not asleep. You're suspended in an exhausting limbo that rest can't reach. 3. Adenosine buildup without the ability to cash it in. Adenosine is the chemical that makes you feel sleepy. It accumulates all day and releases during sleep. When adenosine is high, you feel crushing fatigue. But here's the problem. Adenosine alone can't make you sleep if your arousal system is fighting it. Think of it like trying to park a car while someone else has their foot on the accelerator. The pressure is there. The need is real. But the system won't yield. 4. Screen stimulation has rewired your rest response. Every scroll, every notification, every autoplay video trains your nervous system to expect stimulation constantly. Over time, stillness starts to feel wrong, unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. So when you lie down in silence, your brain doesn't experience it as rest. It experiences it as an absence it needs to fill. And it fills it with noise, worry, and restless thought. You've accidentally taught your brain that being still is something to escape. 5. Your body never completes its stress cycle. Your body processes stress through a physical cycle: tension, peak, release. Exercise, movement, and deep rest are how that cycle completes. But most people experiencing chronic fatigue are living almost entirely in the tension phase. The stress builds. It never fully discharges. And an undischarged stress cycle keeps your nervous system on permanent standby, always ready for a threat that never fully arrives and never fully leaves. Here's how you begin to break the loop. Stop trying to force sleep during a nap. Instead, aim for rest. Eyes closed, body still, no agenda. Remove the pressure entirely. Your nervous system cannot relax toward a target. Give it permission to simply be still, without needing to fall asleep. Rest, without sleep, still lowers cortisol and begins calming hyperarousal. Create a 20-minute wind-down buffer before any rest attempt. No screens, no decisions, no stimulation. Dim your lights, lower the noise, and let your arousal system begin its descent. You're not waiting for sleep. You're lowering the activation level until sleep becomes possible. Move your body sometime before 6 p.m. Even a 15-minute walk gives your stress cycle a physical outlet and begins burning through the excess activation your nervous system has been holding all day. This is one of the fastest ways to make your evenings calmer and your rest deeper. Anchor your wake time, not your bedtime. Waking at the same time every day rebuilds the cortisol rhythm your body needs to feel awake at the right time and sleepy at the right time. Consistency here restores the balance faster than almost anything else. The loop you've been living in, exhausted but unable to rest, is not permanent. It is a system out of calibration, and systems can be recalibrated. You now understand what most people never find out, and understanding is always where the change begins. Your body wants to rest. It was built for it. You just have to stop fighting the mechanism and start working with it. If this finally explained something you've been living with, like it gave language to something you couldn't describe, share this video with someone who needs it. Hit like if this helped. It takes 1 second, and it puts this in front of someone who's been suffering in silence. Subscribe. Every week, we go deep on sleep, fatigue, and recovery with the kind of clarity nobody else is offering. And comment below. Are you more can't sleep or more can't stay awake? Tell me. I read every single one. The next video on screen goes into exactly why you crash every afternoon, even on days you slept well. Watch it right now. Rest is coming. Hold on.